You want it? You got it. Reality radio done right. No nonsense, real and raw, just like you like it.
He's corrupt, he's inexperienced, and he lies.
Broadcasting from a broom closet in the Arizona Lotus Studios, it's Beef Vegan Presents.
Yo, welcome back to the show. Beef Vegan Presents live on this Friday, February 25th. Oh, it's the 25th already. We got a late start on this Friday because it is Friday. But good morning, and thank you guys for listening and tuning in to Beef Vegan Presents. Good morning, Powers.
Good morning, Beef.
We got a great show lined up for you today. We're going to film critic Herb Stratford in studio a little bit later on. We have tons of stuff to give away. I'll get to that in a little bit. But first, I got this text from Powers last night saying Euphoria sucks. Is that show too adult for you?
I think it is.
Yeah, I think it might be as well.
I was so depressed within 5 minutes.
Yeah, but you got to get past that first episode. Dude, first off, the first episode is amazing. The first season is amazing.
Yeah.
It's supposed to hook you. And the fact that you're like put off, life can be pretty heavy, dude, when you're not living in the Disneyverse.
I mean, I imagine it must be.
Yeah. I think it would help, help you grow up a little bit.
Yeah,
to realize how the world really is. Because you've been watching it through rose-tinted glasses.
See, and I knew that's exactly what you're going to say.
Yes.
I knew it was going to be, you should live in the real world. And this is how things really are, just when you want to be real. And I'm like, yeah, it really triggered some old horrible memories from my youth and people I know that died. So I'm like, I'm going to not watch this right now because it's bumming me out.
Well, maybe you got to be in the right frame of mind. I don't know. I love that show, and I've been watching every episode when it comes out on Sundays religiously. Yes. And, it's good to have one of those shows that you look forward to. It makes the day better. Peacemaker was that show for me as well. Every Thursdays, I look forward to getting off of work just so I can go home and watch a new episode of Peacemaker. But that season is wrapped up, so I haven't had that. I didn't get that joy yesterday, and that's good. But at the same time, John Cena basically did a bonehead move. Now, Cena's done pretty good in being, I don't know, first off, picking projects. I consider him the best professional wrestling / actor as far as his movie choices.
More than David Bautista?
Yeah, we talked about it many times before. We rank him higher than Batista and The Rock.
I'm shocked.
Yes, because that's how good they are. Now, John Cena, usually he plays it pretty down the middle, like online, and he does really well in promoting himself and not too scandalous or salacious where he gets backlash. But yesterday, he did something so egregiously cheesy and crossing the line in self-promotion that the internet turned on him quickly.
Ooh, what did he do?
So he tweeted out about Peacemaker in reference to the war that's going on in Ukraine.
Uh-oh, that's stupid.
Yes, right? This is the same thing when you see radio stations like post a picture of a dead celebrity with a little logo on it promoting the radio station. It's bad look, it's tacky, and it's gross.
Yeah.
So John Cena tweeted out, if I could somehow summon the powers of a real life #Peacemaker with the helmet, I think this would be a great time to do so. And he's saying this in reference to the beginning of potential World War III. Like, you read the room, dude. Read the room. This is a bad look. And so immediately the Twitterverse just jumped on his ass, and rightfully so. Like, this is, there's a lot of innocent lives involved here.
You got to wonder if this is one of the times when, if I was a celebrity, I would have to pull the emergency parachute of, I have a guy that helps me tweet sometimes.
Yes.
Gary really screwed up yesterday. Did you see that? That's what I would do.
Well, I would hire a guy just to read my tweets before I hit tweet, and just be like, is this okay? Because I understand instinctually you're just like, hey, I gotta keep promoting the show. First off, you don't need to promote the show right now. The season's over. It was a rousing success. Done. Put a bow on it. Get ready to shoot season 2.
See, that's not true. Now is when the real promotion begins, because now the whole show's out. He's got to get guys that only were waiting for it to finish to binge it, which is typically your argument.
You know who's not binging it? Ukraine. They're watching real life Peacemaker outside their window right now.
Yeah.
So, a couple of the comments that I've read on Twitter in response, someone wrote, I'm just saying there's never an appropriate moment to say this, especially now. Someone else wrote, I feel like I shouldn't have to explain this to you, but the power of Peacemaker is murdering people.
Yeah. I was about to say, that's the other thing. Peacemaker's just a dude that murders.
Yeah, that's your superpower.
Yeah.
So, you got no other superpowers. You just murder people really well.
And spoiler alert, that's the arc he's trying to get past is the blatant murder.
Yes, I know. And this lady Lori wrote, real people are dying right now, and you're using their deaths to promote an effing TV show? Really? You should be able to summon enough common sense to know that this tweet was crass, stupid, and in poor taste. And for sure,
I'm going to blame it. I'm going to blame it on Gary, his PR guy that runs his Twitter sometimes.
There is no Gary, so that's insane.
I'm with you, John.
Yeah. Get off his jock, because that was just a bad movie. Look, we could still enjoy celebrities and actors for the roles that they portray, but also call them out when they F up.
Yeah, idiot.
Yeah, dude effed up.
Big time.
Yes. So John Cena is not even our morning moron. Like he was gonna be our morning moron.
He could have been.
Yeah, he absolutely could have been. I swear, I was like this close to make him the morning moron. But then I came across a story where a guy just out moroned him so hard that I couldn't ignore that. And so I'm gonna share that story with you after Volbeat's Shotgun Blues. Let's kick things off with Cumbersome by 7 Mary 3. It's Beef Vegan Presents on Rock 102.1 KFMA. Let's go! You can do so at the KFMA Facebook page and youtube.com/beefvegan. And coming up on the podcast broadcast stream, we're going to be talking about 15 actors who refused to join the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
That's a good list.
Yeah, there's some names on here that's actually quite surprising. We're talking about that on the stream. And when we return on the air, we're going to break down what you should be checking out this weekend on Netflix. There's a new show called Vikings Valhalla.
Valhalla.
Oh my God.
Oh, you knew ahead of time.
I love
you lying
Thor.
Son of a bitch.
Thor.
Oh, you love Thor. Of course you love Thor.
I love Natalie Portman as Thor.
Oh yeah.
Yes. We'll geek out on that on the podcast broadcast stream as well. Keep it right here. Join us visually on the Facebook page or youtube.com/beefvegan. We got Evanescence coming up after 3 days grace. Here's So-Called Life from Rock 102.1. KFMA. Valalejo. Clear. All right.
Literally.
Good morning, everybody. No, I was reading on the fly. I need glasses. I'm deaf in one ear. Leave me alone, Powers.
Valhalla.
You know?
Name what's Thor's hammer's name? I'll show you. You want to be able to say it. And don't fall for Arizona, or who said that? Daniel's joke was a John Cena joke, I believe. Right, Daniel? Yes.
Yes. All right. Let's see. Shelly says Powers is shy. The least shyest person I've ever met in my life. The guy went topless for Halloween, and he definitely doesn't do
painted
sit-ups.
blue.
Even though he was smart enough to get the sash around the love handles, it was brilliant because in that way you did look like 20 pounds slender.
I actually don't have love handles. It all is one shape, luckily.
Oh well, I mean either way, it held the gut in. It was really good. I would do the same. Yeah, it happens. I mean, I got it too. Herb doesn't have it. You know, the guy's been lean and mean his entire life. That's why he's a dick. But, you know, if I was, I mean, I never just lounge around with my shirt off at a Halloween party. It's a ballsy move.
That is a ballsy move. I mean,
fun time.
Yeah.
And if you were blue, immediately I think of Arrested Development.
Oh, I know. I blew myself earlier that day.
Yes, you did. No, I thought you had someone help you blew yourself.
Oh yeah, my friend Talia blew.
She blew you.
Wait a minute. Talia watches the same from time. No, Talia, no.
Talia blew you. That's cool. You know, that's what good friends do.
Oh, and then Rico showed up and he blew me too.
Oh yes. I had to touch you up a little
from
bit.
the back.
Yeah, he blew you from the back.
Which is a reach around.
Yeah, it's quite a thing.
Yeah, super impressive. We're going to be talking news about the Batman as well. Some bad things. But first, here's 12 actors. I said 15, but, you know, misinformation all the time. 12 actors who refuse to join the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Do you guys know any of these actors off the top of your head?
Off the top, I'm gonna say no, but I'm sure I might recognize some that have spoken out about it once or twice.
If you were to guess an actor who you would think is just far and above just a thespian and would not lower themselves to be in such brain dead entertainment.
But the thing is, it has to be somebody who actually might be on the radar. Because, like, I would say Pacino would be somebody who would never do it. But it's like, who would you, like, why would they even ask?
Who would
Pacino?
Denzel? Is he the type of guy that even speaks out?
You know what? Both those names aren't on the list because honestly, I think they probably would. Pacino would take a paycheck at this point. He doesn't care. The number one person on this list was actually considered for a role.
Okay.
So, like, they wanted her to be Black Widow.
Yeah, who?
I'm talking about Emily Blunt.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Oh,
And she turned down the role of Black Widow. But looking back, she doesn't regret it because she just doesn't like superhero movies.
Yeah, I'm sure she doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
These people are full Bonnie.
All right. So a couple names on this list. John Cho made the list for whatever reason. And the reason why he doesn't want to do it is funny. It's because he's lazy. Because he doesn't want to have a diet or work out like crazy.
He want to do what Kumail did.
Yeah.
Right?
Kumail, I mean, honestly. Holy jeez.
Yeah, he's a different person.
And that's great
why I'd want to be in a Marvel movie. It's like, oh, you're going to turn me into a superhero? Let's go.
Yeah. You're going to give me the Marvel personal trainers?
Yeah.
And get me all Thored out?
But,
sure.
I read somebody the other day said that I don't know if it was Cena or somebody said that superhero body lasts about a week if you don't work on it.
Well, yeah.
Well, you got to stay fit, but it's a good start going from what he was in Silicon Valley to that.
Well, Mark Wahlberg just recently said, because he had to gain 100 pounds for a movie. He didn't have to, but he chose to. Said, and The Rock has said this before. Other actors have said this before who've gained weight who normally were fit. Mm-hmm. They say it's harder to get fit than to stay fit. So you can maintain your car basically. Yeah. It's easier to maintain it than to restore it and get it back up and running. And that's an analogy I think you would relate to very much so, Powers.
It's easier to make sure the blue wire is connected.
Yeah.
Yes.
A couple other names here. There are surprises on this list, like Amanda Seyfried.
Right? Not impressed.
Yeah, okay. She doesn't like stunt work.
That's all good reasoning. That's not like they're going after Marvel movies. That means they don't want to be in John Wick either.
She also turned down the role of Gamora in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
Yeah, because she didn't want to be painted green for 6 months out of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? First world problems, man.
Yeah, agreed.
I thought you were like in this game to entertain and to be successful and be, I don't know, eternal in a way. These movies are going to live on.
Yes, that's why I'm like, well, these people are fools. Like, that's foolish. Keep going.
Jennifer Aniston.
You're right.
She thinks, quote, big Marvel movies are diminishing the value of cinema. Jennifer Aniston, who hasn't put out anything to value cinema. Yeah. Like, what movie have you put out?
Horrible Bosses was legendary.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, let's make a sequel.
I gotta say, if you don't know the film The Good Girl,
okay,
she's very good. It's like it was her first sort of indie movie. Jake Gyllenhaal, one of his first movies.
Yes.
That is a good
How
movie.
long ago was that?
Oh, 25 years.
Well,
exactly.
That's what I'm talking about.
And is that the only good movie, like really good movie that holds up that Jennifer Aniston put out? Yes.
She was okay in Cake.
There's a lot of okay, and she wasn't the starring actress in Cake. She was a supporting role in Cake. Yeah. So Cake was a decent film that she just happened to be a part of.
Bridesmaids.
She was okay in Office Space too, but she didn't make Office Space.
No,
you cut and paste.
She happened to be in it.
It was mainly just because how hot she looked in it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And because she was a waitress, and it was believable because it's like
Office Space.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Office Space.
I think it's Horrible Bosses.
No. She was super. She was hotter in Horrible Bosses, and her being like a nymphomaniac was great. But in Office Space, she was good in that role only because she was just hot enough to be believable as a waitress, right? Because I don't think Jennifer Aniston is really that hot.
I don't either.
Yeah, I don't see the appeal. So you're like, yeah, she's a believable waitress. She's not a believable actress.
Which is also typecast because she was on Friends as well. She's a waitress. So take that.
That's true.
That's right.
That is very true.
Maybe she should just be doing that. Matthew McConaughey. Now, here's another crazy tidbit that I didn't even know that Marvel turned him down to play Hulk. But asked him to join Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and he said no because he didn't want to feel like an amendment. And he was still butthurt about not being cast as Hulk. So
does that mean that they cast Ed Norton instead of him in that Hulk? Is that the
or
Hulk he was
Mark Ruffalo?
I don't know.
I wonder which. You know what I mean? Which Hulk?
I think Mark Ruffalo because the Ed Norton one is not.
We got
Marvel
13 seconds
cinematic.
for on the air, but I definitely would want you to Google that.
No, I think I figured it out. Because original Hulk is not
check it.
It's not Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's pre all of this.
That's true.
That's what it is.
I don't know. Again, we'll see. No, you might be wrong, dude. I mean, I understand you feel confident that you might be right, and just Google it to see how right you are, or see if you're wrong, because I think you're
a different company made Hulk. Like who?
What did I just say? So we're going over the list on our podcast broadcast stream, talking about 12 actors who refuse to join the Marvel Cinematic Universe. One of the surprising tidbits here was that Matthew McConaughey wanted to play Hulk, but Marvel turned him down. But then asked him to join Guardians of the Galaxy 2. And you're saying the original Hulk, all the Hulks were Marvel Cinematic Universe in a way?
No.
Marvel turned him. Yes, the original Hulk was a Marvel film.
The Edward Norton Hulk one. Right? Those ones?
Yeah, and
that's pre this whole plan.
Eric Bana, but it was still Marvel, and Eric Bana was still in that Marvel. That was supposed to start the universe. It just bombed.
Agree to disagree.
And you think, okay, so and recap the
Iron Man and Disney had to buy Marvel.
So you think that Disney wasn't even mentioned in this. So you think he was turned down to play the Edward Norton Hulk?
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what I think.
Yeah, I think it was the Mark Ruffalo.
No. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes, he was turned down to play the Mark Ruffalo Hulk.
Then I think it was the Edward Norton Hulk. I'm just going to say the opposite of you, and I think you're wrong. So Google it. All right. Now let's get back to what's coming to streaming services. You got to Google it and prove me wrong.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Time has, but sure.
Time has not proved me wrong. In fact, I've been on the right side of time, and corrected. I've predicted things correctly many times in the past. I can't speak correctly, but I'm definitely on point in seeing what's coming. All right. Speaking of which, we got Herb Stratford in studio. Jesus Christ. See, you got me all flustered. Powers. Vikings is coming to Netflix. Is this about Thor?
No, it's not.
Okay.
But all right. So for anybody who is wondering, like Vikings, yes, was a series.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
That started on History Channel. And then Netflix picked it up for the last 2 or 3 seasons, and then it ended. And this is a spin-off series called Vikings Valhalla, and it's about 100 years after that first series. So the names you might recognize, really, Leif Erikson, right? I mean, everybody heard Leif Erikson's name when they were going to school, right? So these other Vikings in the previous series were people you probably hadn't heard of unless you'd done any sort of, research in Norse mythology and all that stuff. So, the original series, Ragnar Lothbrok and all the shield maidens like Lagatha. I mean, it was a really great show, but as soon as Ragnar died and his kids took over, it was just sort of not great. I was not a fan. So I was sort of okay when that series ended. This one is solid. I got to say, it is. It's got lots of lusty Viking action.
That's
lots
good.
of extreme violence.
Nice.
Lots of battles. Of course, the Vikings are going over and taking revenge on the evil English, which is always entertaining.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is definitely worth a watch. I mean, it's very well done. It's not, it's not Game of Thrones, right? I mean, there's no dragons flying around, but it's pretty cool because these are real people, and
it's more set in reality,
Yeah.
And looking at the trailer that we're watching along as Herb's explaining this on the podcast broadcast stream, it's actually very visually pleasing. I think the cinematography looks really good on it. And, there's a lot of just Viking adventures, boating action, scenic views look fantastic. It looks like a beautiful show.
Yeah. There's some really great battle stuff. I mean, that's one of the things they excel at is they really know how to show, battles. And it's not just the men. It's like the women, the shield maidens are, they are ridiculously good fighters. Like you do not want to come up against, although speaking of something we talked about earlier, they all probably smelled just terrible.
Yeah, but if you smell like someone who doesn't use deodorant, they don't think they smell because they're used to it. You know what I mean? So if everybody smells terrible, then you smell great. Jamie Foxx had a story that was great. He went to Africa one time, right? And he goes to Africa, and the people around him, he's getting a little safari tour, and the locals there, they don't wear deodorant, and to him, they reek, and he's trying to hold his breath, and then to them, he reeked because he was wearing cologne.
Right.
Yeah.
So, that's the perspective. All right. I could tell that I annoyed Powers. So we're going to find out what the answer is, but not on the air.
Oh,
we're going to take that to the podcast broadcast stream. We'll be right back after this. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. All right. So people on the stream have their guesses as well. Did you figure out what the answer was? Okay.
Ang Lee's Hulk was made in 2003.
Yes.
the Disney buys Marvel in 2009.
Okay.
Iron Man is technically the first movie of, all right, maybe we can build something longer.
Yeah.
I get
The
that.
Incredible Hulk comes out after Iron Man, right? Where they've replaced him. And that is in like 2008. So the deal for the Marvel Cinematic Universe has started to happen behind the scenes. They are planning a thing or two. Edward Norton was fired because he was a difficult pain in the butt.
No, I do know that.
Right?
Yeah.
But yes, it was for that one.
So Edward Norton's?
Yeah, the
Matthew
reboot.
Matthew McConaughey wanted to play
Incredible
Bruce
Hulk.
Banner in the
Incredible Hulk,
that Edward
not-
Norton was in.
Not the Hulk.
Yes.
In 2003.
And Trevor says Edward Norton's Hulk produced by Marvel Studios.
Yes.
Yes. So again, like I've seen this in interviews before. Initially, Edward Norton's version of the Incredible Hulk was going to be the plan to be the cornerstone to start this Marvel universe. It just flopped so bad that they had to kind of reset and focus, and then Favreau came in and set the path for him.
But that's later. And again, you're forgetting how movies were still made back then. Spider-Man was still out. X-Men was still out.
Yeah,
They're not trying to make a cornerstone of a cinematic universe. That was still years away from even being fathomed.
Okay.
And Kevin Feige wasn't even involved yet.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how annoyed did I make you by questioning your?
Just endless. Like he's like,
It's
oh, but
endless
go
as
look it
past
up. I'm
infinity.
like, you're asking me about the Hulk?
Well, look, do you feel better
And
that you're
movies?
reassured that you were correct on that? That's what I just wanted to do. I just want to make sure to check your facts. I don't want you spilling out misinformation on the stream.
I mean, it's true.
What are
you don't
Joe
want-
Rogan?
You
Get the
don't
fuck
want
out
me
of here.
spilling facts. I mean, I was just getting furious. I
Yeah,
was
you can
about
tell.
to turn green.
You can
And
see-
gigantic. It's just infuriating.
We're live on the stream right now. People can see your face.
I'm
Like you're
just losing it.
physically upset. Visibly upset.
Oh.
Oh shit! He just turned it off.
And he just froze.
Yeah, fix it, and then I'll get you back on the stream. All right, Herb. Let's get back to our list here. So as we this list has started a fight, let's continue it. There's so much more. We're not even close to being done yet.
Tell me more dumb, like
They're not even that dumb. We
these
only
all
got
seem to
6
be
down.
actresses that are just like, I'm not interested in being in the Marvel Cinematic. Well, the 2 lady superheroes are taken, so good luck. Yeah, right?
2 out of 5.
And frankly,
Yeah.
Now here's what we're finding out from most of these, because 2 out of 5 were guys already, right? And then most of these people either A, auditioned for the role and got turned down, or B, was offered the role and didn't want to do it. And only a couple examples of people were just like, nah, seems like too much work, right? And that was John Cho and Amanda Seyfried.
And that's good reasoning.
Yeah,
Like, that's a lot
fine.
of work. Like,
I
I
guess,
can't
but-
do that. That's not like the Marvel Cinematic Universe is ruining film.
Whatever.
Like, shut
It's
up.
also-
and it's a commitment to maybe 6, 7, 8, 9 movies, right?
Yes.
That's the other thing. I mean,
Now
you
it
think
is.
about it.
Yeah, but that wasn't initially the case. No
Right.
one knew that
Yeah,
going
sure.
into it. But but it's also a buttload of money. Now, Timothy Chalamet,
Chalamet.
Mhm. Right? Mr. Fancy Pants. For whatever reason,
Who's he?
he's the it boy
Dune.
right now. And yeah, it's like,
Paul
who is he?
Atreides in Dune. He was in The French Dispatch. He's in everything right now.
Yeah, he is like a super A-list. He is the go-to kid. He seriously looks prepubescent to me.
Okay.
He did audition to play Peter Parker, but recently said one of his heroes gave him career advice, and that's no superhero movies. Who do you think his hero is?
Some bougie jerk.
De Niro, maybe?
Nah, De Niro would do it.
De Niro, I mean, he was in The Joker.
When you were, okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a superhero movie, but
no, but it is.
Yeah. It's a comic book.
It's a film.
Yeah.
They made a film out of it.
Yeah,
But yeah.
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 Okay, so here's a couple other names that we're going over the 12 actors who refuse to join the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And what we're finding out when we're going through this list is some of them are saying that they refuse, literally got rejected.
Yeah.
And it's almost like saying, I refuse to date that hot girl that blocked me on Facebook.
Is Jaleel White upset that he didn't? Does he not want to do it?
You talking about Urkel?
Yeah,
You
obviously.
going back with the Urkel
I was
reference?
gonna say Screech from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
but
He
Oh,
died.
if they were gonna. He doesn't want to do that. Oh, he's dead.
Too soon. Jesus. Respect the Screech around here. You got one rule to follow. All right. So we got this one was surprising. Jason Statham.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Now he doesn't want to be in one of these because he thinks any guy could do it. And so, and he
Now
thinks though, this is the kicker. This is what's so funny and ironic
Okay.
is that he also thinks they rely too much on green screens and stunt doubles. coming from the guy who's literally in Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
And listen, he was in my favorite movie. What's his movie that he did, Jason?
It's your favorite movie. You should know.
What is it?
What, The Transporter?
No, it's the one that's just more over the top, ridiculous.
The Haywire one or whatever, where he's like,
he's got to get his charged up.
Yeah.
I love those. The second one, because I watched the second one first somehow, and I'm never like that. But the first one is just the same movie, just not as good. The second one is so. What is it called? Tell me in the stream what's it called. What's the Jason Statham movie?
I thought it was Haywire.
Crank.
Crank 2 High
Daniel.
Voltage is one. Have you ever seen Crank 2 High Voltage?
Yes, I did.
That's one of my favorite movies. He's banging her on the stupid thing. It's like a cartoon.
Yeah.
They're in the strip club and he's just blowing people away. That woman's boobs again. It was so stupid and fun.
Yeah,
I love that.
All right, real quick. Courtney said, I watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre you guys were talking about last week, and it was awesome, but hard to find. I did see it on the homepage of Netflix. I didn't think it was that hard to find, but someone called in earlier today and said they hated it.
I've seen
it was awesome.
Hates. No, I've seen hates.
Yeah, definitely hates.
A lot.
I saw it. I watched it. I watched it with my girlfriend. I thought, first off, it captured the essence of the gore of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's what made it campy and fun.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say it was a great film, but
no, that's what I said. I said it was entertaining. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's some great kills. I mean, I love that scene on the bus. I mean, it's just nuts.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
All right. So actors, Vegan Egan says actors treat Marvel stuff like working at Starbucks. Sure, you're making coffee, but I'm sure we could find a connection to slaves in Amazon or something. Oh, that's
I read the first half of that, and then it really falls off there. I'm like, what is this analogy?
Yeah. All right, a couple more names here. We're going over the 12 actors who refuse to be a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Jon Hamm.
Okay.
He could have played Thor's hammer, or at least his dick could have.
Jon Hamm was 10 years too late to the superhero genre because he could have played Superman. He's a handsome SOB.
Yeah.
He could have played many of the Tick. He could have played many of these superheroes. It's just that I think it's like, he's a little too old to do it.
Right.
But he could play like a late,
He should play Kingdom Come Superman. So if you've never seen Kingdom Come, it's the older Superman that's kind of grizzled.
Right.
Yeah.
He would be excellent at that.
All right, what were you gonna say, Herb?
I was just saying like a late stage Batman, right?
Yeah.
Same thing. Sort of like an older retired superhero who's sort of beat up.
That's what Ben Affleck's kind of doing.
He could play the dad from Invincible if they do that live action. Have you watched that animated series yet?
Yes. Yeah.
Holy jeez.
Yeah, so don't count him out yet. And
he'll do it.
He turned down opportunities because he doesn't want to commit to potential future films that we were talking about earlier.
There you go.
And he hasn't read scripts for and including crossovers. So
Jon Hamm's the guy from Mad Men.
Yes, if you're asking. Reese Witherspoon. She
again another one.
To. Yeah, I mean she's a great actress. I remember her in Freeway. That's where I fell in love. with.
Yeah,
that's where I fell in love.
If you guys don't know that movie on the stream or wherever, if you haven't seen that movie, that is a keeper. I stumbled on that a couple years back, and I'm like, what?
I was working at a video update in a video store, so I'm very much like Quentin Tarantino, right? I worked at a video store, watched all the indie classics, and Freeway came out, and Reese Witherspoon there. That was before she blew up. Yeah. But you're just like, she's a megastar. She was amazing in it. She's very vulgar. It's very white trash, her character. Yeah. And the story is that of Little Red Riding Hood. But it's a modern version. And Kiefer Sutherland is the big bad wolf, so to speak, a kidnapper, sexual predator. It's insane. Yeah. The movie's insane. Definitely worth checking out and definitely holds up. Yeah. All right, we're going to get back on the air here. We're going to talk about Batman. The Batman, I should say.
The Batman.
Yes. Warner Brothers likes to F everything up.
They sure do. They're the worst. They make movies like it's 1994.
I know. All right, we got 12 seconds for we're on the air here. Thank you guys for hanging out with us on the stream. Keep those comments running on the podcast broadcast. Rock 102.1 KFMA, welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents, hanging out with film critic Herb Stratford and amateur film critic Frank Powers.
Yeah,
I was saying,
super fan.
Yeah, super fan. That's true. If anyone deserves a super fan title, right? It's you. You super fan on too many things, actually. I think you need to focus on one or two things to be a super fan of. You can't super fan everything, bro.
I super fan genres for sure. I think it's a bit much.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God. Is there anything you're not a super fan of?
Sports. I'm nostalgically vintage fan for sports. I get into it. Football, Super Bowl, that was great. I love it, but I don't pay attention to them as much as I pay attention to Star Trek,
Right.
perhaps.
Yeah. Now, the three of us have been excited about the potential of the Batman, which is Robert Pattinson's Batman, directed by Matt Reeves, right? And, there's a lot of hype going into it. Now, Powers and I are both kind of concerned that there might be too much hype and it's not going to live up to it. Now that we're getting closer to the release date, we're seeing little tidbits of the changes that the studio is making to the film.
Oh, really?
Yes. And I don't think, when these changes start coming into play, they're kind of PC changes, which is going to affect the overall thing. I feel like this movie could end up being a bust for stupid little things. Now, Warner Brothers at this point is notorious for interfering with their director's artistic vision of these properties. And, they could arguably say it ruined Suicide Squad, the first one, before James Gunn took over, and then had creative control.
Yeah.
Justice League. Yeah. They had to release a second cut on that because Warner Brothers executives got involved and completely screwed the pooch on that one.
Yep.
So now with the Batman, there's reports saying they wouldn't let Colin Farrell's version of the Penguin smoke in the upcoming film. Yes.
He argued for a cigar and they wouldn't even let him do that.
A cigar?
Yeah.
Because a cigar is novelty. It's not a cigarette. Kids ain't exactly walking out there getting cigars.
I know.
And that was Colin's argument. He said, and I quote, as if a bunch of 12-year-olds are going to start smoking Cuban cigars because of the effing Penguin.
Wow.
Right. And you're talking about something as iconic as the Penguin smoking.
Yeah.
The Penguin is always smoked in every version of the DC Universe comics, right?
Just Meredith.
Yep.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. So these changes, this goes to show that Warner Brothers is still using their stroke and changing characters in this upcoming film, The Batman. So my question to you is, do you feel like now that these stories continue to come out, that this movie is going to live up to the hype?
I'm not sure if it's going to live up to the hype just because we did just watch Spider-Man, right? The hype behind Spider-Man, all the mystery, what's going to happen, and it did live up to it somehow. Oh my goodness, what a thing, but what a tightrope.
Yeah.
And the Batman, same thing. We talk about this sometimes on the show where we have here's the hype. Here's a backstage photo from 300 days ago where here's the filming. Today they did this to so much anticipation, so much hype. So I don't know. I hope the Batman delivers. We are not getting an origin story, and he's going to be a detective. That's what Batman fans are excited for.
Okay, what do you think, Herb?
I think it's going to deliver. I think that the expectations are a little bit different because of this cast, right?
Okay.
And I think what you just said, Powers, is spot on about it's not an origin story. We're not rebooting. It's like a very much different. It couldn't be more different than the original Michael Keaton Batman.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like it, and I mean it's almost 3 hours. It's 2 hours and 55 minutes.
Right.
That's an
What?
epic. Yes.
Yes, but that's how films are now. If they want to get people to the movie theaters, we're so accustomed to binge watching shows. Anything less than 2 hours feels like a ripoff. So films that are big blockbusters now, they know that the old tried and true 90-minute formula is out the window.
Yep.
They got to give more bang for their buck. So that's why we're seeing longer films, and we're going to continue to.
And I mean, this cast is nuts. I mean, Zoe Kravitz, Paul Dano, Jeffrey Wright, John Turturro, Peter Sarsgaard. I mean, it's a rogues gallery. I mean, I think this is the most villains in a Batman movie since the Batman Adam West movie, right? The bomb.
Yeah.
That's
the
good.
boat.
Yeah, give me all the villains.
Yeah,
I'm a
see
fan
it all.
of the video games, and they have all the villains in the video games. I feel like the storylines in Arkham Knight's fantastic because of it. So all right, well, we're gonna see, because the Batman's coming out soon, but hopefully they don't do more PC changes like this, because come on, first off, it's okay if the Penguin can kill and rob and
just
be a
shoot
villain,
people.
right?
Yeah.
Like that's not a bad
Open
influence on 12-year-olds.
umbrellas indoors.
Right. Right.
With poison gas or without. I mean, it's an umbrella.
Yeah. Like, my kid could rob a bank, but you better put down that Pall Mall. We'll continue the conversation on the podcast broadcast. Stick around. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA.
So I even have a linchpin point too.
What's up? Say it again.
I have a linchpin point about
Okay, what's the
Batman.
lynch pinpoint?
He's there. So we're going to solve a mystery, right?
Yeah.
So we as viewers are not going to know. If it's not a good mystery and they do something wrong, and it's like, oh, it's obviously this.
Oh, yeah.
That's the bottom of that movie is going to drop out. It has to be like a twist, a surprise. It can't be an obvious thing. And we already know the Riddler is behind it. It's about the Riddler, but what's the movie about?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What is at stake? It can't just be like the Riddler's going to do something. You better stop it.
But also, I would say I would be mad if they set it up as an obvious franchise launcher, right?
Good point.
You know what I mean? Like, I hate when it's just like, oh, here we go. They just teed it up for the second movie. I feel so, and not a post-credit scene. I'm down with those.
Sure.
Right. But I don't want to see something where it's just like, here we come. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, come back and see some more. No. I want this to be a thing.
Yeah. I don't know. They don't. So Disney, a long time ago, when they canceled some of the 2D, they said, we don't make movies anymore. We make franchises.
Oh, yeah.
And if you notice, DreamWorks, same thing.
Yeah.
Turbo's coming out, the movie, but Turbo, the coloring books, and Turbo, the Netflix show, it's all ready to go too. We make franchises. So I don't think they signed Robert Pattinson on for one.
I don't think anybody gets one anymore.
Everything's a trilogy.
Right.
But I just hope they don't set it up that way in a
right.
You know what I mean? I don't want to feel cheap.
Do you think they're going to surprise us with the Joker appearance in this?
No.
You say not a chance in hell?
Here's the other thing, because we're
the
multiverse,
villains?
right? The multiverse now, right? So again, what version of Batman?
Yeah.
Where's this Batman live?
Yeah. Is
the Flash in this universe? Is he just retaking the role from Ben Affleck Batman? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think
it's not that. He doesn't live in the same universe as Peacemaker. Just found out Peacemaker lives in the DC universe, right? With that Justice League.
Yes.
Yep.
So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what they choose to do. The same way that with Web of the one we just saw with Spider-Man Far From Home.
Oh yeah.
We might find out that Venom, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's in the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man universe. Where's Morbius? Morbius might be in the Tobey universe.
That's right.
So that's how they're playing with things.
Okay, fair enough. So
right?
what villains are confirmed for the Batman? So we have Penguin, we have Riddler, we have Catwoman. So those three, but Catwoman is,
Ally.
Yeah, exactly. So is there any other villains that have been confirmed so far, been spotted in trailers or Easter eggs?
I think there's a famous mob boss Batman villain.
Carmine Falcone.
Carmine Falcone.
Okay, so that's Turturro.
Right.
The DA is Peter Sarsgaard. And Jeffrey Wright is James Gordon. So
Sarsgaard might turn into Two-Face then. Is that Harvey Dent DA?
No, it's not Harvey Dent. It's somebody else.
Okay, so no.
So no, and the rest of these people, I mean, Alfred, obviously is Andy Serkis. But
no,
no,
really?
I'm not,
Yeah. And he actually looks
Some
good.
people don't know.
No, I'm shocked. I did not know that.
Okay, yeah.
It's just real fun that they're going to have Alfred be a full CG puppet and Andy Serkis is doing his thing.
You always sound so sarcastic where he's
I know, right?
I can't tell.
Yeah.
I don't see any other listed villains in the cast that's on Tomatoes. So
I would think that, I think it's possible. I mean, is it too soon to bring back Joker? I mean, we just had Joaquin Phoenix. What if it was Joaquin Phoenix?
That's what it is. Does this Batman live in the Joker universe?
Yeah,
right. Because it's more gritty.
That
well, no, if you think about it, it's the same timeline. Right, it's around like the 80s, and you see like basically the Batman. It's not present day,
no, but it's Batman year one kind of.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
So like, what if we see that's the big twist and shocker that Joaquin's going to be in this.
And I mean,
that's
Warner made $1 billion on the Joker, and they're making 2 more of them. So
and they want to.
Are they?
Yeah, I know. I'm worried.
All right. Mr. Freeze, no Mr. Freeze just yet.
Killer Croc, get him in there.
Yeah. No, definitely get Killer Croc.
Yeah, I loved King Shark in Suicide Squad so much. That's my
favorite. Absolutely.
All
right, let's get back to some of these actors who said they would never be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now we get to the ridiculous
I'm ready
ones.
For some more. I'll knock them right down.
Yeah. You are knocking them all down. This one, I guess you don't even need to knock down. It's super easy. Rose McGowan.
Oh, well.
Again, I did love her. Doom Generations and
Doom Generations is one of the greatest movies. That's terrifying and awesome. I love it.
Yes.
Death Proof and whatever the other.
That was good.
Oh my God, she's gorgeous.
Yeah. But again, she's gorgeous 20 years ago.
No, she's still gorgeous today. She still has sex tapes that leak every 6 years. I'll send you a link.
Oh, okay.
So she said in 2015 that they lack complexity, story and character development, and they're lazy and average male filmmaking.
The average male gaze.
You're basic.
Oh, we're so basic. How dare we?
Basic boy.
Ugh.
All right. Sean Penn said he'd never do it. Sean Penn never does anything worth watching anyways. I mean, yeah, they might get critical acclaim. Nobody cares. We bagged on Sean Penn earlier this morning because he's out there filming a documentary for Vice. He's
in Ukraine in his Superman outfit trying to save the world because he thinks he's a superhero. So,
and I mentioned the powers, and I was reminding him about that, and I think we talked about it in the show open. So stop me if I did talk about this in the show open. But he also did a report for Rolling Stone that led to the capture of El Chapo, right? So like having Sean Penn there behind enemy lines, is he going to inadvertently lead to the capture of Putin, right? Is it going to be that good?
Wow.
But also what I hated about the piece in Rolling Stone is that he spends a large part of this expose talking about his own dick. Right. Like literally it's almost verbatim where he's just like, so we're on the path to track down El Chapo. And we pull over to the side of the road because I have to urinate. And I step to the side of the road and I unzip my zipper and I slowly pull out my massive hog. And I'm looking at it. And he describes looking at it. And it almost describes the girth and everything as he's urinating and thinking to himself how blessed he is. And this is in the middle of a Rolling Stone expose piece about how to capture El Chapo. Like, what does that even have to do with anything?
Is that the nickname he has for his hog? El
yeah.
Chapo?
No,
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, there's a thing, and if you're a Sean Penn hater, definitely don't watch this. But there's a thing called Citizen Penn. It's a documentary that came out last year, sort of disappeared. It's him in Haiti, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which he was doing, and honestly, all this aside, what he does humanitarian wise is,
I'm sure he actually is doing a lot of good work.
He does. He spends millions of dollars. He helps.
That's good.
But I mean, this movie, it's painful because like, okay, it's Tuesday now. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna eat my oatmeal. And you're like, whoa, too granular, dude. Let's pull it back a little bit. It's like 2 hours of Sean Penn talking about Sean Penn.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. He is pretty self-serving, even though he's doing all of this charitable work. It's like, there's something about him, man. It always comes back to how awesome Sean Penn is.
It's a shame Ego, the Living Planet, was already in the film.
Exactly. True. And that's why he wasn't cast there. He's like, oh, damn, you got a character named Ego and you didn't come to me first?
Yeah.
I'll never do Marvel. So, yeah, he thinks it takes up too much space and wasted too much time in the careers of talented people. Yeah. That is a very son of a
all these poor millionaires, celebrities that are making so much money. Children adore them at hospitals. They literally are just looked at as heroes and gods walking among us because they play our modern gods and our mythical Greek heroes. Except they're superheroes now, folks.
All right. And to wrap up our list, the top 12 actors who refuse to be in Marvel. This one I feel like was a career mistake by Josh Hartnett. Hartnett.
Yeah.
Hartnett. Yeah.
No, that dude disappeared. I mean,
he's coming back now.
No, is this the one that's heartbroken over Gambit and crying about it? Was he in Gambit?
No.
Who was Gambit?
That was Channing Tatum. That was
okay. Yeah,
yes, right? And he actually would have been great for that.
Yeah.
And hopefully they still cast him as that. But here's the deal with Josh. Josh at one point was like an A-list actor. He did step away. He is making his way back into acting. He's released a film I think recently, and he's picking passion projects. He still kind of has that it factor. He's tall, chiseled dude. He kind of looks like Harrison Ford in his heyday. Yeah. Now, this is not Marvel, but he said he was offered the role of Superman when he was younger, but he turned it down because he didn't want to define the rest of his career. So now what's defining the rest of his career? Not working.
Yeah. Well, then we can know that was he turned down and Brandon Routh got it.
Yes,
so that's what that is.
Exactly.
So yeah, I don't know. That's up to you because Brandon Routh has turned that into something. He becomes the Atom. He joins the CW. He's part of the multiverse of the DC universe, right? But he is
working.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's working.
Yeah. Like good, right?
Yeah. No, I agree. No, I always felt like he came off a little two-dimensional. I didn't think he had a great depth. Look, the roles I saw him in, I'm like, that guy's a pretty guy.
Well, he was being cast in rom-coms and stuff, and that was a large part of why he stepped away from comedy. And there was something actually very dark about why he not comedy, he stepped away from filmmaking. There was a piece that he did recently in an interview, essentially talking about the seedy underside of Hollywood and sexual exploitation and abuse, and he alluded to some things that seemed like it was very heavy, very dark, and he just wanted no part of it. And so he stepped away. And, conspiracy theorists take this information, run with it. And I would have to reread that interview again to give you more tidbits on that. But it's complicated, to say the least.
The thing about that is probably the group he's rolling with then. Because when we're all doing it, it's no big deal. Right? And it's like, no, that's kind of a big deal. I think I got to step away from my group of friends.
Well, Well, it's the Coreys, right? It's the whole Corey Haim and Corey
Oh,
Feldman
really?
thing. Well, no, I'm just
Yeah.
saying it's that same time frame. I think was
Okay.
when there's like, and I'll probably get the show in trouble for saying this, but Bryan Singer, right? You know what I
Yes.
mean? Or some of
Right.
these predators who are out there operating with impunity in
Yeah.
Hollywood.
I'm shocked about Bryan Singer.
I
Still
know.
nonstop.
No, it's it's one of those worst kept secrets. That
Yeah.
same thing happened with Harvey Weinstein.
Right.
Same thing happened with who's another predator where you're just like, yeah, I mean, Kevin Spacey.
Yup.
These rumors, reputation stories preceded them for years before they're caught up. And Bryan Singer apparently has enough money and clout to still get away with it. But the allegations and reputation this dude has are horrific.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just because X-Men, I mean, X-Men is great and all, but not that great.
Yeah.
yeah,
X-Men was a long time ago.
Right.
I have it on VHS. Ooh, long time ago.
Yeah. What movie is good enough to where you'd be like, I forgive him? You know what I mean?
Well, but Bryan Singer, I will say, Usual Suspects.
Yes, that was a good movie.
That is a great
phenomenal movie.
film.
Yeah,
Right?
no one's
Although
knocking a guy's
Spacey's
talent.
in that. Spacey
Right.
is, spoiler alert, Kaiser Soze, right? So I mean, there's a couple of
They
predators.
probably
hanging
bonded
out.
over that. That's how he got the role.
Right.
He's just like, I don't know if you're this character. And he's like, really? Because I like taking advantage of young men. Oh, me too. You're cast. That's great.
The
They got
both of
a
them
little
are
drink.
like-
And scene.
The funny thing is that they probably both drugged each other and just had a great night. They were just like,
Yeah.
oh, who knew?
Yeah, no shit, right?
Monsters.
I know. Well, it's Hollywood for you.
Yep.
We got about a minute here. We'll do a quick segment and then I'll wrap things up with beef tip. So we've been having fun with Herb Stratford. I'm going to play you a clip of his review in a little bit that we did of the movie Cyrano, because we get to see the trailer in that as well. And how do you say the last name again, Powers, since you're so
Cyrano.
bougie and you like bragging about it?
Cyrano de Bergerac.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Look
Why
out.
is there picky up in the air?
I'm
when you
doing
say-
this fancier pose, I think. I don't know.
Look at me. I read books.
Look at me. I watch Looney Tunes.
So I'll have that coming up here momentarily. I'm going to ask you guys a question when I get on the air. Is this weird or is this genius? There's a story that I came across that could border on both.
Uh-huh.
So you weigh in. I know that, Herb's a parent. You're not a parent, but still, like hypothetically, if you were in this position, would you do what this dad did? And that's the tease to set that up. And we're on about 20 seconds here. Don't forget to react to the video if you're watching on Facebook or like it on YouTube and share, spread the gospel. We appreciate it.
Hit those emojis.
Yeah, all the emojis.
Emoji. Make it rain.
I don't care if it's the thumbs down or the sad face. I don't care.
Angry face.
But ha-has go a long way in my mind.
That's right.
Rock 102.1 KFMA here with film critic Herb Stratford and amateur critic Powers. And I'm going to ask you a question. Is this weird or is this genius? Have you guys ever heard of Apple AirTags?
Oh, yeah.
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 Yes.
Yeah, Apple AirTags, it's a product essentially you can put on anything and you can track it. Like,
Yes.
it's real life
It's
GPS.
like the size of a quarter, basically.
Yeah.
My friend does geocaching on Twitch. Where
What is that?
That is where people put them and they publicly put things. And sometimes it'll be attached something or it's hidden. It's like scavenger hunt. And he'll go, I'm going to ride my bike. We're going to go here. There's a geotag over here. Let's see what's it. Oh, let's go look over here. And sometimes there's little notes or you just mark that you saw it and they're keeping track. And it's fun.
Yeah.
That's weird. Yeah, that's like real life Pokemon Go, I guess. So
Kind of,
people are
yeah.
putting these AirTags in and they're putting them public so anyone can see them.
Yes,
Man, nerds do the weirdest
they
things.
do.
So, okay, well, here's a story of a dad who's getting some backlash online because people think it's a little stalkerish the way he's using the AirTags. He's 30 years old and he sewed one of them into his young daughter's shoes for her first day of school.
Mhm.
Now, people are calling it a hack for peace of mind.
Yeah,
But some people are
right.
saying that's stalkerish and weird.
No.
Yeah, 100% genius.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's like, just think about it. It's a way like, for you to keep dibs on something that, could be taken advantage of or could be,
Well, the way you say it makes it sound extra creepy.
Yeah,
But,
tabs, not
'cause I-
dibs, tabs.
Yeah, I was thinking of saying, like, I have a 16-year-old daughter, and it's like, yeah, actually, if I put a little AirTag on her, I guess that does give me peace of mind, but it's still kind of weird.
It is, but it's your job as a parent to do that. You know what I
Right.
mean? If you're doing it to somebody like a coworker,
right.
that's weird.
I do know where Powers is 24/7.
Like, here's the thing. Like, a lot of families already have this sort of stuff, but it might be their kid's little watch
or their phone.
It's an automatic thing that a lot of people already have. Even your significant other, it's not about kids. It's just like, oh, good, I know that my wife is safe. She's on her way home.
Or if I can't find her, like if she's missing,
Yeah.
the first place to start. I mean, I think it's great.
All right, you heard what Powers and Herb said about it. What say you? 600 KFMA. We'll answer the phone calls on the podcast broadcast stream. We'll be back right after this with your beef tips, so keep it right here. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. I said that already, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
can I say it slower so they
Slow
write
it
it down? 1-0. Clear. I did that bit earlier, actually. It was funny. It was funny. Did I do that during Morning Moron?
I'm not sure what you did. I'm not sure.
I think I did do it during Morning Moron. So, part of the feedback, like I have meetings with consultants and management to tell me how to do the job better. And they say one of the things that's kind of like a fault that I'm not doing well is I get a little too caffeinated. I say the call letters a little too fast.
Okay.
So Rock 102.1. And they're like, people need to know what station they're listening to. That's how they report it. That's how you get ratings. So you need to slow down to 102.1.
We only say it 206 times an hour.
Right. And then I bookend it. I come into segments saying it's Rock 102.1. I usually end it with that. But, they're not completely wrong. It's not insane. As asinine as it sounds, there is actual proof that this is true when it comes to your average listener.
Yeah. I get it.
So we started it. In fact, actually, I do believe that was the Morning Moron. Check how I start off this morning Moron bit right here. Rock 102.1 KFMA. That was Volbeat with Shotgun Blues. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. It's now time for your Morning Moron. Let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, this moron is dumber than John Cena tweeting about Peacemaker. Okay, no, maybe I didn't do it in that one. Maybe I did in our Ozark piece.
End. You do it. I thought you do it at the end.
No, I did it at the
You did
beginning for sure. Let me see if it's the Ozark one here. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. We already established at the beginning of the show that Powers thinks Euphoria sucks.
Again, it's not me. It's not Euphoria's fault. It's me.
Yeah. Okay, no, it's not that one either. Oh, you know what? You just had to be there.
Yeah. Tune in every single day from 6 to 10 to Beef Vegan Presents on Rock 102.1. You forgot the point, just saying. Jeez.
No, I know. I did 1-0. I stretched it out. It was a good 30 seconds.
It was.
1-2-1.
And then there was a gap.
There was an
uncomfortable silence.
Dead air for 8 seconds.
I had to laugh during it because I couldn't handle it.
Yeah. That's good. That was what I was going for. So, if you guys missed the movie review of Cyrano, which is a remake of Roxanne, which is a remake of the classic tale
of Cyrano.
of Cyrano, right? It's coming out here this weekend. Herb saw it, loved it, and he had this to say about it. Check it out. 1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. We're here with a film critic, Herb Stratford, who's going to be joining us on the visual podcast broadcast stream here in the 9 o'clock hour. And we're talking new movies coming out to theaters, and there's really just one that's been generating buzz. Is that right?
Yeah, so Cyrano is the one that's generating buzz, and this film actually got pushed back a little bit because of COVID. They wanted people to have this experience in the theater.
Okay.
It's the story, and this one, sometimes this is the way I tell people what the story is because they have a point of reference. You remember the Steve Martin movie, Roxanne?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. This is that story.
That's what it sounded like when you were describing it.
Yeah, so instead of Steve Martin with a big funny nose, right, pining for, I can't even remember who it was. Wasn't Daryl Hannah, was it?
Yes, it was.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
But this is Peter Dinklage of Game of Thrones, right? Tyrion, right? And he is the one that pines for the beautiful Haley Bennett, who you may or may not have seen before. She was in Swallow, which don't go there.
I wasn't going to. Come on.
It's a very interesting movie. She's sort of one of the young it girls right now, and she plays the beautiful girl that he's friends with. He loves her. He does, he's afraid to tell her. Kelvin Harrison Jr., who is great, is the Christian character, who is the guy who he sort of uses as his mouthpiece, right? So he feeds Christian all the lines to say to her, because Christian ain't real good with women. Yeah. And so when he gets Cyrano's brain working for him, she falls for Christian right away. So this film, it's beautifully done. Here's the thing, though. It's a musical. Never been done.
I'm out.
No, never been done. Well, and I hear that. I hear what you're saying, but it's worth a look.
Because are the songs good? Are they catchy enough?
They are. The songs are good. They're catchy. It's beautiful. It's filmed in Italy in it's supposed to be the 1500s. I mean, and towards the end, they go to Mount Etna for this big battle in the snow, which is just insane.
Okay.
So it's cool.
So, I mean, because again, immediately I'm like, Hollywood ran out of ideas. We keep recycling the classic tales, and this is a classic tale. and it goes back centuries. But do we need to see it again? And what's so different about this one? And they say, oh, well, we're making this one a musical. But do the musical numbers, are they cheesy?
No. They're well done. And the thing is, Joe Wright's the director, and he's the guy that did Pride and Prejudice and Atonement. So he is the master at period pieces, right? And the other interesting thing about this is Peter Dinklage's his wife actually wrote this version of Cyrano. Right.
Okay.
And Joe Wright came to see a stage production of it with Haley Bennett and Dinklage in it and said, "Oh my God, I'm making this movie." So it's a very big passion project. Again, it's beautifully done. But I mean, I'm not a musical fan, but I actually was like, oh, okay, this is all right. I'm in.
Well, I think it does say a lot that they pushed it back and they held on to it until people could go back to the theaters again. That if a studio has that much confidence in a project, that usually means it's pretty good. Early reviews are saying
it's solid. It's 86% on Rotten Tomatoes. And actually I should have brought the soundbite. I had a chance to talk with Peter. It's one of my first on-camera, interviews, and he's just a super chill dude. I got to tell you, he's awesome.
Little BFF, this guy.
No.
Yeah, you guys are the modern day twins, Like, I want to see you guys in a movie together. A little buddy cop comedy.
I might pitch that.
Yeah.
He's that cool.
Yeah, all right. So Peter Dinklage's new best friend, Herb Stratford, says Cyrano is worth seeing in movie theaters. And if you like musicals, you definitely have to check it out. All right. Excellent job, Herb. We have more reviews that we're going to talk about after the break as we get ready for the podcast broadcast, because that's live and that's next on Rock 102.1. So don't go away. Yo. All right. We got Todd on the stream saying play some Slayer. Okay. I just played Slayer, Todd. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're listening to KFMA stream, because I can't play it on this video stream because YouTube and Facebook would not allow it, right? Because we don't have those rights. That's how that works. That's why you're not hearing music on the podcast.
Yeah.
Broadcast. All right. So that's the review there. Cyrano looks like it's worth seeing. And I just found out during break that Herb had the chance to see the Batman and he passed it up because it would have been too much. He's very much like a Marvel actor or someone who didn't want to be a Marvel because you're going to make me do something to see something ahead of time. And I don't know, drop a review before the movie's released.
If they'd cover my gas at least. I mean, you can come to Phoenix and you can't bring anybody with you. And it's a Monday afternoon. I mean, what? I
would have done it. To see the Batman, I would have done it.
You know what? I would have done it if they would have let me bring somebody.
It's weird. It's not a date, dude. It's work. You know what I mean?
Goddamn.
Yeah. It's your job.
Wow. It's my job. I don't get paid for.
Yeah, that's true. But when I go to do jobs and pick up gigs and stuff, I don't bring a friend or bring my girlfriend.
Dude, you're getting paid.
Sometimes, not all the time. I wish I did get paid all the time, but trust me, I do a lot of pro bono work. Yes, I said that right. We got your beef tip.
I did not correct that.
Yeah. Because when you're working for free, you're pretty much a boner. All right. Someone did an impressive research to determine just how much money Norm's bar tab would have been on Cheers, because Cheers is still a top 10 streaming show.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Netflix now. A lot of people watching Cheers. So you remember Cheers, right, Herb?
Yes. Yes, I remember. I remember watching Cheers when it came out before it was in reruns.
Wow.
That was back in the Prohibition days.
Yeah. So if you were to guesstimate how much you think Norm's tab would be, because Norm classically, he was the fat alcoholic who never paid his tab, but he's drinking every day. Those beers add up.
Yeah.
I'm sure he had a shot every now and then. So how much do you think it would be over the run of the entire series?
18,000.
18,000.
That's it? What are you kidding?
Yeah, I know. See how fat that
beer
guy
was cheap in the 70s, right?
80s. Yeah.
All right, what do you think,
I'm going to
Howard?
say 300,000.
Okay, you're too high.
Oh,
yeah, but
awesome.
you are too low.
Yeah.
The correct answer, the final tally was $124,406.90. Like I said, like a science. I nailed it to the penny.
Wow.
How much money he would have spent. And, Sam Malone would be claiming bankruptcy right now.
I included the dollar tip on every drink. So that takes it right up to 3.
Not if Carla was serving him, you know what I mean? And it's like, I'm not tipping you.
That's true.
You're mean. Oh, Cheers references still relevant today. Nope. All right, 18 seconds. We're going to wrap things up. I hope you guys enjoy this weekend. Come see us at the Roadrunners game Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be a good time. And if you're out there, make sure you stop by and say hi or, flag me down. Be awesome to say what's up, fist bump you, and all that good stuff. All right. Let's wrap it up. Rock 102.1 KFMA. That's all the time we have for the podcast broadcast. I'd like to thank everybody for listening and our guest, film critic Herb Stratford, for coming in. Of course, Powers each and every Tuesday and Friday, or Wednesday and Friday.
Something like
whatever.
That.
He's around.
Yeah.
Let me give you a beef tip before we wrap things up. This is good news for you, Herb. A study found our decision-making skills don't fade that fast, and most people are still as sharp at age 60 as they were at 20. Right? So don't be afraid. It's only a couple years away. But no. The study also said the University of Michigan found that having a pet keeps your brain young and prevents memory loss. Do you have a pet, Herb?
I do. I have a cat and a dog.
There you go. You're going to stay sharp then.
Yeah.
So for those of you out there that are feeling like your memory is fading, get yourself a pet. That might help you in the long run. And that's a beef tip. See, it's a friendly beef tip.
Yeah.
I'm not even saying F Herb today.
Not even a bit.
I know. It feels weird, though. All right. F Herb. All right, enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later.
When you wish upon a side
We did
of
it
beef,
again, folks.
soon will
We
come
did it again.
an end to all your grief. But if you've been mean or kind of bad, I will knock out all your teeth.